What if I told you that the very devices designed to simplify your life could be the very tools used to disrupt it? Imagine a world where your smart refrigerator or your internet-connected toaster or even your digital doorbell could be part of a vast network of devices all working together, not to make your life easier, but to wreak havoc on a global scale. This is the world of the Internet of Things, or IoT. These devices, designed to bring convenience and efficiency, are becoming an integral part of our lives. But as their numbers grow, so do the risks. The interconnected nature of these devices makes them vulnerable, and their security is often overlooked. It's like leaving a key under the mat, inviting trouble to your doorstep. But what if these devices could do more than just compromise your personal data? What if they could be weaponized? Today, we delve into a chilling tale of how these seemingly harmless devices can turn into lethal cyber weapons. In the heart of this story lies a dark entity known as the Mirai Botnet. A botnet, for those unfamiliar, is a network of internet-connected devices that have been hacked and harnessed to work together to complete tasks, often nefarious ones. Mirai is no ordinary botnet, though. Conceived in the shadows of the cyber world, Mirai has a unique and troubling power. It can tap into the vast potential of thousands, even millions of Internet of Things devices. These devices, which range from smart fridges to connected security cameras, often have weak security measures, making them easy targets. The crafters of Mirai developed a way to scan the Internet for these vulnerable IoT devices and, exploiting their weak security, conscript them into the botnet. The owners of these devices would have no idea that their smart toaster or baby monitor was now part of a sprawling cyber weapon. This is the essence of the Mirai Botnet, the ability to invisibly and silently turn everyday devices into soldiers in a vast digital army. But how does Mirai work exactly? It's quite ingenious, really. The malware that powers Mirai is programmed to continuously scan the Internet for IoT devices. When it finds one, it attempts to log in using a list of common factory default usernames and passwords, a vulnerability of many IoT devices. If the device hasn't had its default login details changed, Mirai is in. It then recruits the device into the botnet, ready to be used for whatever purpose its controller sees fit. This is the unsettling reality of the Mirai Botnet. It's a silent, invisible force capable of turning the Internet of Things, a network designed to make our lives easier, into a weapon. But what could one possibly achieve with this massive network of hijacked devices? The answer might surprise you. Imagine waking up to find that the Internet, as we know it, has come to a standstill. Let's journey back to the fall of 2016, a day like any other until it wasn't. The Mirai Botnet was set in motion, and it was a spectacle of chaos and disruption. A significant part of the Internet was brought to its knees, an event now infamously known as the Dyn attack. The Mirai Botnet, a malicious software, had been programmed to seek out and infect Internet of Things devices. These are the everyday gadgets we take for granted, like our smart fridges, thermostats, and even baby monitors. Once infected, these devices were transformed into an army of bots, ready to follow the commands of their new master. And what was the command? A distributed denial of service attack, commonly known as DDoS. This isn't your run-of-the-mill cyber attack. Instead of hacking into systems to steal information, a DDoS attack overwhelms a network with traffic, rendering it unusable. It's akin to a traffic jam on the digital highway. In this case, the target was Dyn, a major domain name system provider. Think of it as the Internet's phone book, directing traffic from human-friendly web addresses to the actual numerical IP addresses of servers. When the Mirai Botnet launched its DDoS attack, it was like a tidal wave of digital requests flooding Dyn's servers. They couldn't cope, and the result was widespread internet disruption. Major websites like Twitter, Netflix, and Reddit became inaccessible for millions of users, not for a few minutes, but for hours. The scale of this operation was unprecedented. It showed us in no uncertain terms that our connected devices could be commandeered and used against us. The Mirai Botnet had transformed our everyday devices into an army that had waged one of the most significant cyber attacks in history. In the wrong hands, our everyday devices had indeed become cyber weapons of mass disruption. The fallout from the Mirai attack sent shockwaves across the globe. In the aftermath, the digital landscape was left forever changed. The global community realized that their beloved Internet of Things devices, from smart fridges to baby monitors, could be transformed into cyber weapons. Despite the chaos, justice prevailed. The masterminds behind the Mirai Botnet, a trio of young hackers, were eventually apprehended. They were savvy, they were innovative, but they were not untouchable. Their arrest served as a stark reminder that cybercrime does not go unpunished. Yet their capture was not the end of the story. In a surprising twist, the source code for the Mirai Botnet was released into the wild, freely available to anyone with an internet connection. This act was akin to releasing a blueprint for a weapon of mass destruction. The code, once the trio's closely guarded secret, was now a tool that could be repurposed, refined, and redeployed by anyone with nefarious intentions. This had profound implications for IoT security. Suddenly, every connected device was a potential recruit for a new botnet army. The risks were no longer hypothetical. The threat was real, present, and persistent. In the years following the attack, the tech industry scrambled to fortify their defenses, to harden their devices against such intrusions. Yet the challenge was monumental. The sheer volume and diversity of IoT devices, coupled with their often lax security measures, made them an irresistible target for cybercriminals. The Mirai Botnet was a wake-up call. It exposed the underbelly of our connected world, revealing the dangers that lurk in the shadows of our digital lives. It underscored the need for robust, proactive security measures, not just reactive fixes. The Mirai Botnet was not the end, but merely the beginning of a new era in cyber warfare. It served as a stark reminder that in the age of the Internet of Things, every device is a potential battleground, and every user a potential casualty. The stakes have never been higher. So where does this leave us in our increasingly connected world? As we continue to embrace the Internet of Things, or IoT, cybersecurity has become more crucial than ever. Our homes, offices, and cities are becoming smarter, more connected, and therefore more vulnerable. It's like a city with millions of doors. The more doors there are, the more locks we need, and the more keys there are that could potentially fall into the wrong hands. Now imagine if a single key could unlock all those doors. That's the reality we face with IoT devices. And that's why cybersecurity is no longer just about protecting our computers and smartphones. It's about securing our fridges, our thermostats, our baby monitors, and even our light bulbs. But fear not, we're not helpless in this fight. There are steps being taken on a global scale to enhance the security of IoT devices. Governments and corporations are investing heavily in cybersecurity, creating regulations and standards for IoT device manufacturers. These measures are designed to ensure that every new device comes with a robust set of security features. In addition, cybersecurity firms are constantly developing new ways to detect and neutralize threats. Like the Mirai Botnet, they're like the cyber equivalent of the immune system, always on the lookout for potential threats and ready to spring into action at a moment's notice. But securing our connected future isn't just about what governments and corporations can do, it's also about what we as individuals can do. It starts with being aware of the devices we use and understanding the security features they offer. It means changing default passwords, keeping software up to date, and being careful about the information we share online. Remember, every device we secure is one less weapon in the arsenal of cyber criminals, so let's take the steps to ensure our devices are secure and encourage our friends, family, and colleagues to do the same. The responsibility to secure our connected future lies with all of us. After all, you wouldn't want your smart refrigerator to be part of the next cyber attack, would you?